What is up, guys? Swimmer here, back again with some more Go Battle League action. Going to be using that same team of Castform, Alolan, Ninetales, and Froslass today, and I'm really going to be pushing for rank 24. I was about to call it rank 10. It's not rank 24, not rank 10 anymore. It's rank 24, Legend rank, and it's so funny. As you guys know, I used this team on the first night after the move rebalance, and then I checked out YouTube the next day, and sure enough, Zionic has a team that is almost identical to this, just swapping out the Politoed for the Rainy Castform. I've been thinking about doing that anyways for the Weather Ball spam. It's just so much spammier with Politoed, it's so fast. But yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to invest in Elite TM yet, and Water Gun does give you a little bit more fast move pressure. So if you guys watch Zionic's channel, and if you don't, I highly recommend watching it. He's a great content creator, definitely a very skilled battler as well. But I think that basically the difference between this and Zionic's team is that Castform has a little bit more fast move pressure, and then the Thunder coverage provides a little bit more options against Azumarill, whereas Politoed just has so much energy generation, and Earthquake is a great coverage move for the other water types. Politoed can beat Azumarill straight Earthquake in the 1 and 2 shield. So that's really the difference, but I'm going to be pushing for rank 10 today, so let's go ahead and get right into the video. So starting at a 2964 or something like that today, so we'll have to see if we can get probably one set of a 4-1 or a 3-2 and a 4-1 or something like that is going to be enough. I was finding that the queue times were a little bit longer, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, I ended up backing out here, and I had like 3 or 4 times before this where I was looking for a match and couldn't find one, so I was like, okay, I'll catch a Pokemon, see if that helps my queue times, random superstitious things like that. So jump back into the lobby now, and hopefully we'll be able to get a matchup here. And sure enough, we get one right away. So we're up against Daisuke 007 Castform into Ninetales. So this is okay for us. We are resisting the Powder Snows and the Weather Ball. They actually swap perfectly into Deoxys on the charge move, so nice swap by them. But this is fine because I can go into Froslass, and we're going to be basically even on energy here. And because they're low, I'm not even going to have to go for Shadow Ball. So I can tank this Thunderbolt. Even if it was Rock Slide, I could tank it just fine. And now we're going to build up to close to 2 Avalanches and Throw. I wanted to make sure that I didn't get hit by a Psycho Boost, and it's only 5 more after the Thunderbolt to get to that Psycho Boost. So we're going to be able to maintain switch advantage. They come in with Alolan Ninetales, and hopefully we can get to an Avalanche, but they do throw the Psyshock right away. So that's totally fine. So now that Ninetales is energy dry, and I can come into my Castform and start dealing a lot of fast move damage with the Water Gun. They're getting to a charge move here. I am going to go ahead and shield up the Psyshock. I don't know what's in the back, and I want to maintain some health on the Castform in case it has some good play. And we do connect with the Weather Ball. It's an Azumarill on the back, so we're looking pretty good. We're going to build up to a lot of energy and then go for a Weather Ball bait here. This is their last Pokemon, so they're very likely to shield. They do shield, so we're going to let this go, hoping that they don't have Play Rough, and they have Hydro Pump. So this is very good for us. We're going to build up to that Thunder now, and I could bait again, but really I want to make sure that I either get the shield or the damage, because I know that Alolan Ninetales in the back is going to be able to take out this Azumarill. They definitely couldn't farm me down, so they have to throw the Ice Beam to take me out. And now Alolan Ninetales can come in and go for the Psyshock spam. We can safely shield whatever they throw at us. Even if we get baited, we're going to be, in a good spot. We are going to shield up this first charge move. Expecting it to be a bait, it is a bait, totally fine. We're going to be able to get to 2 Psyshocks before they can get to another charge move anyways. This next Psyshock should probably be taking them out. Yeah, it does take them out, and then they come in with their own Alolan Ninetales. We can get to this Weather Ball, and that is going to be a good game. So able to win that first matchup there. I just really love closing with Alolan Ninetales. It does so, it's so spammy. It does quite a lot of damage. You could definitely try this with Charm. I think that you'd want a slightly different team comp, but Weather Ball is the first time a Charmer has had a 35 energy move. So that's going to be really a game changer for the Charming, strategy, basically. Because you'll actually still get to those Weather Balls at a reasonable pace, and that you could conceivably get to more than one. All right, looking for another matchup here. Finding one against Gabo Herka. So we have Castform into Azumarill. This is good for us. This is where we want to see it. Castform does have a positive matchup against Azu. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build up a ton of energy. They are throwing here at 6 bubbles. So it's a pretty good signal that they have Play Rough. So I am going to go ahead and shield up the Play Rough. Going to build up a lot of energy here and go for the Weather Ball. Really hoping to shield. To get a shield here from my opponent. We do get the shield. Now we can go straight for a Thunder. And hopefully they don't shield this one. We want the damage. Yeah, we do get the damage. That's quite good for us. And then it's debatable whether I should have shielded this. I think I would have been better off not. I know I live the Play Rough, but we can Water Gun down and have a lot of health left on our Castform. And they have an Abomasnow in the back, so we're going to have to swap into Ninetales very quickly. They have a Alolan Marowak in the back, so not a great choice. Probably should have swapped into Froslass, honestly, because I know that Alolan Marowak is the biggest threat to this back line, and at least Froslass could have gotten that last shield, which would have put me in a much better spot. But we are going to be taking a Shadow Bone here, Shadow Ball actually, so that's going to take us out, and then they farmed up a lot of energy, so what I'm going to do is come in with the Castform, throw 2 Water Guns, and then go for the Weather Ball. This will make sure that they aren't able to get off another Shadow Ball, and we can swap into our Froslass on this Abomasnow. Unfortunately, the Energy Ball from the Shadow Abomasnow just does too much damage, and we're not going to be able to get to 2 Avalanches. I really needed to get that shield away from my opponent somehow. And we just don't have the damage that we need here. So they're going to get to an Energy Ball on this Castform, and that's going to be a good game. Probably what I needed to do, to be honest, was to stay in with the Castform and go for a Weather Ball and hope that they shielded. And if not, then commit to the farm down with the Froslass. Tough to know whether that would have been the better call or not, but very well played by my opponent. That's a pretty common team these days, Azumarill, Abomasnow, and Alolan Marowak. So I probably should have recognized the Alolan Marowak in the back as soon as that Abomasnow came out, and definitely should have gone into the Froslass there instead of the Ninetales on the swap, so that the Shadow Ball could at least threaten that Marowak and get a shield or 2. Actually, won't get a shield or 2. I only had 1 shield left. But all right, up against Kevin Saludaris here, we've got Stunfisk on the lead. This is exactly where we want to see it. And then they come into Defense Deoxys. I make a mistake here and go into Alolan Ninetales. Froslass is definitely the better choice here because you can threaten to one-shot with Shadow Ball. And you also have a much heavier hitting other move with Avalanche, so that if they get down to about half health, you can realistically take them out. And so you guys can see I'm going to lose switch advantage here, and that's going to put me in a really tough spot. So we're actually going to choose to come in with Froslass here because I want to get ahead on energy on the Froslass, and I'm able to farm all the way down, which is great for us. And this is going to give us an option to still beat this Stunfisk. So we have one Avalanche, which is going to connect. We can go into Castform, but it's a Tropius in the back, so that's pretty much a good game. If I had gone into Froslass on the swamp there, like I should have, it would have been definitely would have been an easy game for me to win. But I saw the Psychic typing, and I was thinking it was going to be Mew, but it was not Mew. It was the Defense Deoxys. So basically our win con now is to farm this all the way down. We're going to have to shield up this Leaf Blade. Hopefully we can still get to enough Avalanches here to take out this Stunfisk. We are almost at back-to-back, so we're going to go for an Avalanche on this Stunfisk. And they shielded up. Not surprising, they have to shield it up. We get to another one. They're going to shield this one up as well. And now it's going to be a race for that Stunfisk to get to the back-to-back and us to get to the Avalanche. And Froslass, what a monster, is just able to barely get to that Avalanche in time. So we're still going to be able to take the win here. So really nice game there. Very happy to get that win, but would have been much, much easier, much more straightforward if I'd just gone into Froslass on the Defense Deoxys and maintained Switch. Alright, next match against CMCC 2112. We have Castform into Azumarill. Again, this is where you want to see it, so perfectly happy to stay in this matchup. They're throwing 8 bubbles here, so I'm going to build up a lot of energy and then go for a Weather Ball, really hoping to get a shield. They've thrown a lot of bubbles, so they're way over play rough, so I'm going to call that they have Ice Beam Hydro Pump. They do Hydro Pump me, so we are resisting that. That's quite good for us, and now we can go straight for that Thunder. Very unlikely that they're going to want to invest 2 shields on their Azumarill. We do connect with the Thunder, and now we're going to swap into Froslass, actually. This is a dumb shield. This is definitely an Ice Beam. It's way, way too soon to be another Hydro Pump, so no need for me to shield that, but we do draw out the Alolan Marowak, which is quite good for us. We're going to be able to go for a Shadow Ball here, which would deal a ton of damage if it connected. We do get a shield, so that is also quite good. And then my opponent throws their energy here, which again, very good for us. It's just a Bone Club, so we go for that Avalanche, but we can't quite get it. And we can come back in with Castform now. We are going to shield up this charge move. Shadow Bone would probably take us out. It is a Shadow Bone, and we just need to get to that Weather Ball to take out the Alolan Marowak. They don't have any shields, so this is definitely going to take them out. And then we're going to swap into our Alolan Ninetales right away. It's a Meganium in the back, so we can just go for the Weather Ball spam here. Amazing swap by my opponent, though I think it might have just been as soon as their switch timer came up, because they are able to catch the Weather Ball, even though I threw at a random time. But we can get to another Weather Ball. There's really not much hope for the Meganium here, because we're just going to be able to Powder Snow down at this point. Frenzy Plant is going to deal a lot of damage, but it won't KO, and they needed to get to 2 for sure to have any chance at winning that game. So that's going to be a good game there. We're at next match against Salzami69. And it's a Haunter on the lead. So I think I make a mistake here. I think I should be staying in with the Castform, because them swapping out risks me having to have my Froslass against the Haunter, which is a bad situation, and they've got a very, very hard punish for this Froslass in the Bastiodon. So this is not looking great for us. We're going to keep spamming these Weather Balls, but they're just going to farm us down and have a lot of energy on their Bastiodon. We can only get them to about half health, and they've got tons of energy, so we're going to come in with the Castform. We're going to shield up one of these Stone Edges. I know that they're going to get to 2, and then we're going to really look to aggressively farm with the Weather Ball here. They are going to get to another Stone Edge. I need to save at least 1 shield for that Haunter, so I do not throw that, and I'm looking to farm down here, but they're just getting too close to another charge move. I didn't have great track of their energy, so I am going to go ahead and throw the Weather Ball, but they've got a Medicham in the back. I'm spamming Weather Ball there, but I lag and don't get it off, so I'm just going to go ahead and surrender. I had no win condition there anyways, given that they had that Medicham and I didn't get off that Weather Ball. The Haunter could have come back in and completely destroyed the Froslass, so that was going to be a good game for sure. Yeah, so I think they're staying in against the Haunter was probably the right call. Though as it turned out, with the Bastiodon in the back, I would have needed to swap out my Castform at some time in order to preserve it to have any hope of taking out the Bastiodon. So it probably was really tough to win that matchup in general. The only realistic win con was if I swapped in the Froslass against the Haunter and they came in with Bastiodon for some reason. I could get off some Shadow Balls, but they would honestly just stay in that matchup with Haunter because it's a very good matchup for Haunter. So. All right, getting into the second set here, able to go 3-2 in that set to get up to 2970 something there, 2972. So really need a 4-1 in this set if I want to make Legend. Hopefully we can get there. Finding a match now against Richie 1409. So we've got our Castform into Skarmory. So this is totally fine, but because we have Double Ice in the back, we're going to go ahead and swap into Alolan Ninetales. You guys will notice that I often swap into either Froslass or Ninetales. Because they're quite similar, it doesn't make a huge difference what you swap into. Froslass is probably the better choice because it can hit Alolan Marowak and Steel types for more effective damage, but my opponent, it brings in the Azu and goes for a Hydro Pump, which does take us out. We were able to get some decent Side Shock spam on them, but we can come in with Castform now and really hard farm this. We're going to let this first charge move come through. It is a Play Rough, so they do have Play Rough and Hydro Pump. And then we are counting 4 more bubbles here. On the 5th bubble, we're throwing the Weather Ball, and this is going to be enough to take out the Azu. And we'll have to see what comes back in. Likely going to be that Skarmory. It is the Skarmory coming back in. We're going to go ahead and shield up the Castform. Because they have Skarmory and Azumarill, I'm reading that they have a Shadow Machamp in the back, so my guess is that they're going to want to save at least 1 shield for that, so I'm going to go for the Weather Ball here to hopefully get a single shield, and now I can go for a Thunder before they get to another charge move. This is going to basically one-shot the Skarmory. Yep, we do one-shot, and it's a Shadow Machamp in the back, and we have a Froslass. So basically, this all comes down to whether I successfully call the bait. They do go for the cross chop. I successfully call it. The Machamps almost always bait in that circumstance, recognizing that baiting and then landing a Rock Slide is their win con. So my win con then becomes to call the bait and not shield up the cross chop. So that's going to let me get to back-to-back avalanches here and take out this Machamp just before we go down. Definitely nice that I had Froslass in the back, since it is resisting that counter damage. If it had been Ninetales in the back, it would have been pretty tricky, to be honest, although you get to those Weather Balls a little faster, and it's a little tankier, so maybe it would still be fine. But very good match there, and very well played by my opponent. Landing the Thunder on Skarmory was absolutely huge there. All right, looking for another opponent here. Got 1 win. Now we've got Alejandro Yebra on the lead, or in the next matchup here, sorry. And we've got Castform into Galvantula, so this is not good. I'm going to go straight into Ninetales. The reason I'm going into Ninetales here is because Ninetales can beat Castform to the charge move with that Weather Ball, so I know I can force a shield. And then they're throwing. Ninetales resists the bug type damage from Lunge, which is definitely the most likely thing for them to throw if they're going to swap out. And if they don't swap out, then great. So they come in with Swampert, and I can get to another Weather Ball here to deal some nice chip damage. And then this is going to be a Hydro Cannon and will be taking us out, but Froslass has done its job. It's already debuffed. I really have no reason to shield it. And we can come in with Castform now and really get some good energy. So we're going to look to farm this all the way down. We are going to throw up a shield to respect the Sludge Wave. We could tank it, but I want to keep some health on this Castform. And they aren't able to get to another Sludge Wave. They definitely had a Hydro Cannon there, but it wouldn't have dealt a lot of damage. They come in with Vigoroth to absorb some of this energy, so I'm going to throw one Weather Ball and then swap into my Froslass to get ahead on energy. We actually managed to catch a Body Slam, which is pretty great for us. And because we got that one Powder Snow in, are going to be able to beat this Galvantula to the charge move, and they just decide to let it go. I think they recognized that after we caught that Body Slam, they were in a pretty tough spot, especially since we had the Weather Ball stored on our Castform, so they decide to surrender the match there. Alright, now we're up against Wearer of Masks. We have Castform into Medicham. So again, this is an okay matchup for us, but we're going to safe swap into Froslass to draw out potentially what might be a counter to the Ice types in the back. We draw out a Sableye, which is more the counter to the Ghost type, but we can get a shield with Avalanche here. And then it's debatable whether I should shield this or not. I know I could get to another Avalanche if I do, but I'd risk getting farmed down, so I do let it go. But this Sableye has way too much health for me to really come in with Castform, so I'm going to come in with Ninetales because it resists the Foul Play damage. So I'm going to go for a Weather Ball here. This is going to deal some nice chip damage, get the Sableye fairly low, and then we're going to be looking to farm down. They farmed up a lot of energy here, so we're going to shield up the potential return. We do successfully shield the return. That is great for us. And we have a lot of loaded energy now on our Ninetales. We'll have to see what they come in with. They come in with Scrafty. This is actually really solid for us. This is where I would like to see the Scrafty on my team, because the Foul Play is just not threatening to Alolan Ninetales. It means that they're going to have to go for Power-Up Punch, and the counter is only dealing neutral damage, and with the huge energy head start that we had, we can just spam these Weather Balls and really apply a lot of pressure to this Scrafty. So I'm going to go for another Weather Ball here. This is going to either force them to shield or take them out. We do take them out, and now we can swap into our Medicham. Oh, actually, the swap doesn't go through, so we're going to stay in and try and get to another Weather Ball, which we do. That's amazing for us because they don't shield. We can now come in with our Castform. This time the swap does go through, and we're going to look to double up. Nothing that this Medicham has can one-shot me, so I no-shield the first one. Basically, my lose con there was to shield a Power-Up Punch and then take a boosted Psychic, but taking a single Psychic is totally fine. So we do end up shielding an Ice Punch, but we have back-to-back Weather Balls, so we're going to be able to throw the first one here to get the shield. We do get the shield there, and then throw the second one, and this is going to take out the Medicham before they can get to another charge move, and that's going to be a good game. So, really good match there. A lot of neutral matchups there. The Sableye was definitely the only real hard counter we saw, and really managing the energy well on Alolan Ninetales let us win that matchup. Alright, getting into the next match here, we have Castform into Azumarill. Again, this is where we want to see it. So we're going to look to build up a lot of energy with Water Gun. My opponent is throwing at 6 bubbles, so I'm going to take that as a clue that they have Play Rough, and I am going to shield. So I do shield up the play rough successfully. Going to build up a lot of energy here till they get another 4 bubbles in, basically. And then we're going to throw the weather ball. We do get a shield, so that's pretty nice for us. And then we just lose CMP, so I'm actually going to let this go through, hoping to encourage the no shield on their part as well. They do sneak a bubble through, but this Thunder is going to deal quite a lot of damage. And the Thunder does connect, so that's quite good for us. We're going to swap into our Alolan Ninetales, and they've got a Skarmory to come in to meet it. This is a good matchup. Alolan Ninetales actually wins this matchup now with Powder Snow and Weather Ball, and especially with the energy lead that we had, just a couple Powder Snows, it's going to be pretty clean for us. So not going to shield up the Sky attack. It does about half of our health, maybe a little less, maybe only 40%. And we can get to back-to-back Weather Balls here. So we do connect with one. Going to farm up just a little bit of extra energy, do 3 Powder Snows, and hopefully take them out with this Weather Ball. We do take them out. It's going to be a Whiscash coming in, and this Whiscash is either going to have to throw some energy or take a lot of Weather Balls. So we connect with 1 Weather Ball, we connect with a 2nd Weather Ball, and it looks like they're committing to the farm down, which good on them for trying to find the win condition, but unfortunately, none of the blizzard that they're hoping to land on either of our Pokemon is not going to deal very much damage, so they're going to still have to go for Mud Bombs. They do go for a Mud Bomb against the Castform, and does not KO. We can come in with our Froslass as they swap into Azumarill and get ahead on energy, shield up the Play Rough because that's going to deal the most damage, and then they're going to come in with the Whiscash. They should be throwing Mud Bombs here, but they might throw the Blizzard just for fun. They do throw the Blizzard, yeah. I think they recognize there that there's no win condition. Basically, their win con was for me to be weak to Blizzard in the back. So, well played by my opponent. The farm down was a really aggressive move, and it just didn't pan out because I had 3 Pokemon that all resist Ice-type moves. Alright, so I think that's 4 wins so far in this set, so I am fairly certain that that will be enough to hit rank 24, get myself to Legend. So pretty excited. I think I recognized this when I was battling as well. So I don't think I play all that well in this last matchup, but we'll have to see how it goes. We're looking for a battle here. Yeah, I got the 4 wins, and I was like, oh, come on, just give me a battle. I just want to get that rank 24 legend pose, and so was really just wanting to find a match here. Didn't really care at this point whether I won or lost this last game. Yeah, definitely can't find a match. Holy smokes, it's taking forever to find a queue. So curious to see how your guys' battles have been going. Now that we're back into the Great League, I really do like the Great League. Okay, now we've got a match here against Dodge or Dies. And it looks like we've got Castform into Azumarill. Again, this is where you want to see it, so this is totally fine. Going to be building up a lot of energy. And again, they throw at 6 bubbles, so we are going to look to shield up the Play Rough. And then they actually swap into Umbreon, so I'm going to go into Ninetales. I was a little slow on this swap, and I play this match pretty poorly, to be honest. So they have to go for last resorts. The foul play is not threatening at all, so they're going to need 3 last resorts to take us out. And then I throw that first Weather Ball at a bad time. They sneak a Snarl through. I should really be looking to sync the fast moves better than that, so that I can fast move deny. They're going to get to another last resort here. And then I'm making a mistake here. I have a lot of energy loaded up, and they've got 2 Snarls. So I know that I should be unloading these Weather Balls because they're going to get to another charge move very quickly. And it's going to force me to use my second shield. I had to use the second shield there because I've got basically 2 Weather Balls built up. And I can't really sacrifice all that energy. It's just not going to... It's just going to be too much energy to lose, so we do have to use a second shield. There would have been way better to unload my energy, But the Azu comes back in. We're going to be able to go for some Psyshocks here, and we're going to be spamming the Psyshocks, getting them fairly low, hopefully getting a shield, but likely not. We're going to go for the quick swap into Castform and throw a Weather Ball. This is definitely going to force them to shield because they're not going to want to have the Weather Ball take them out. We are going to have to eat a Play Rough here from the Azu, and then they've got a Mandibuzz in the back. And so I'm building up a lot of energy, going for the Weather Ball here, really hoping to bait that last shield out. They no-shielded. Amazing no-shield call by my opponent. The Thunder would have dealt a lot of damage. I barely survive, and I go for the Weather Ball here, and then I make a really stupid play. I swap out of my Castform instead of just letting the one Snarl go through and KO me. So I had the Alolan Ninetales in the back there for a swap, and basically my win con here is to be able to farm this all the way down, but they got to their foul play there just right before I was able to farm them down, and it was a really predictable time for them to throw here because one more Powder Snow would have KO'd, so they had to throw here. Would have been very easy to sack swap my Ninetales and absorb the foul play on Ninetales, and then had two avalanches ready for that Azumarill coming in, and that would have been more than enough to win the game. But I swapped out of that Castform, so my switch timer wasn't up, even though it was just going to be one Snarl to KO. And really all I did was transfer the damage of that Snarl over to Froslass. So pretty bad play, but honestly, was so excited about getting to Legend rank that wasn't really thinking all that clearly. So still pretty happy with it, and very happy to get Legend. Now I've got almost 7 weeks left of the season where I don't have the pressure of making any like climbing up the leaderboard or anything like that. I've got my rank 10 rewards, so I can just have fun the rest of the season. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys next time, and I hope that you enjoyed the video.